It is 2 in the morning, and you are teetering on the absolute edge of your mattress, clutching a tiny sliver of blanket. Your dog is sprawled out like a starfish, occupying 80% of the bed, completely dead to the world. The room is silent until you feel a sudden wet tongue drag across your cheek, a face lick in the dark. You probably wipe your face, brush it off as a clumsy late-night kiss, and assume they are just creeping over for body heat or out of a bad habit you failed to train away. But that assumption is entirely wrong. That lick, and the reason they are actively pushing you to the edge of your own bed, has absolutely nothing to do with clinginess. It is not a learned behavior or a simple plea for physical warmth. You are actually witnessing a calculated multi-millennium evolutionary and neurochemical decision playing out in real time on your memory foam mattress. Your dog has essentially hacked your mammalian biology, utilizing ancient survival behaviors that took tens of thousands of years to perfect. What is truly happening inside their brain when they press their spine against you in the pitch black is a biological imperative so deep it will permanently change the way you look at them. To understand the gravity of what drives this midnight behavior, you have to look at how dogs fundamentally map their physical and emotional world. Researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest discovered something profound when they observed how dogs interact with their human families. They applied the Ainsworth Strange Situation Framework, which is a rigorous psychological test originally designed by child developmental psychologists to measure exactly how human infants bond with their mothers. The test systematically looks for 3 specific markers, which are proximity seeking, separation distress, and reunion calm. When scientists ran dogs through this exact same gauntlet, they expected the animals to show a mild, practical attachment, perhaps similar to how a wild animal views a steady food source or a helpful companion. Instead, the neurological results perfectly mirrored the emotional architecture of human toddlers. The study revealed that 61% of dogs are securely attached to their owners. That is the exact same statistical ratio found in human children. Your dog does not view you as a dominant pack leader or merely a friendly roommate who fills the food bowl. Their neurological wiring classifies you as their singular primary caregiver. When they seek out your face in the middle of the night for a lick, or wedge themselves tightly against your side, they are not just looking for a comfortable spot to rest their head. They are executing a powerful, instinctual drive to physically anchor themselves to the safest entity in their entire world. This midnight anchor is forged by a complex biological feedback mechanism that scientists are only just beginning to fully map. A landmark physiological study published in the journal Science by researchers at Azabu University in Japan managed to isolate the exact chemical responsible for this cross-species bond. The molecule is oxytocin, widely known as the love hormone. When your dog gazes up at you, whether they are resting their chin at the foot of the bed or licking your face in the dark, a massive spike of oxytocin floods your bloodstream. You instinctively look back down at them. As your eyes meet, their oxytocin levels surge upward in direct response. It is a continuous, infinite loop of chemical bonding passing back and forth between 2 completely different species. To prove just how uniquely extraordinary this is, the researchers attempted to test the exact same gaze loop with wolves. They used wolves that had been raised entirely by humans from birth, animals that were hand-fed, deeply nurtured, and socialized in human homes. The chemical loop never activated. Not even once. A wolf looks at a human and merely sees a primate sharing its space. A dog looks at you, and their brain instantly releases the exact same neurochemical cocktail that a human mother experiences when holding her newborn infant. This chemical connection is so staggeringly powerful that just 10 minutes of physical contact with your dog plummets cortisol levels in both of your bodies. The stress hormone literally evaporates from your bloodstream, physiologically preparing both of your nervous systems to drop your defensive barriers and enter a state of deep, Restorative sleep. This profound biological synchronization did not just happen by accident, and it certainly was not an overnight development. You have to rewind the clock 15,000 years to fully grasp the scale of this bond. Imagine a harsh, unforgiving world long before the invention of farming, before written language, before the first primitive cities were ever constructed. Around ancient, flickering campfires, the silhouettes of wild wolves lurked at the absolute edge of the darkness, surviving purely on the discarded scraps of human hunters. But eventually, a monumental shift occurred in the Ice Age shadows. In a 14,000-year-old burial site discovered in Germany, archaeologists uncovered a grave containing the delicate remains of a severely sick puppy. Dental and bone analysis proved that this young dog suffered from canine distemper, a brutal viral disease. Yet it survived for over 5 weeks solely because early humans painstakingly nursed it, cleaned it, and kept it warm by the fire. Those early humans did not just tame a wild, dangerous animal. Across thousands of generations of sleeping side by side, humans literally rewrote the genetic code of the modern dog. Modern genetic science has pinpointed the exact location of this transformation on chromosome 6. Dogs carry highly specific genetic insertions that dictate extreme hyper-sociability, which are mutations that are completely absent in wild wolves. We essentially engineered an entirely new species that is genetically terrified of being left alone in the dark. They are born into this world with a biological mandate to seek out human presence, a need that is woven directly into the very fabric of their DNA. This intense, genetically programmed need creates a rather strange contradiction when the bedroom lights finally go out. Objective sensor-based data from sleep clinics, including extensive research from the Mayo Clinic, shows that dogs actually severely disrupt human sleep cycles. They kick their legs while dreaming. They scratch their ears loudly. They lick your face when you are in deep REM sleep. And they constantly shift their body weight, fragmenting your rest throughout the night. Yet, psychological and self-reported data tells a completely different, almost illogical story. A comprehensive 2024 study conducted by the University of Jyväskylä in Finland revealed that dog owners consistently report feeling significantly more rested, deeply secure, and emotionally regulated when their dog is physically present in the bed. The answer to this scientific paradox lies in a phenomenon known as heart rate variability co-regulation. When a deeply bonded dog rests its body next to yours, its sensitive nervous system detects your pulse and your breathing rate, and it literally synchronizes its own biological rhythm with yours. If an unfamiliar human were lying next to you in the dark, your brain would instinctively remain on a low-level alert, constantly scanning the environment for a potential threat. But the physical presence of your dog completely bypasses that ancient security system. Only a profoundly bonded dog possesses the unique evolutionary ability to biologically harmonize with your resting heart rate and convince your brain that you are entirely safe, because this intense drive to sleep beside you is hardwired directly into their genetics. Any sudden or unexplained deviation from this nighttime routine requires your immediate, undivided attention. If your dog has always slept near you, leaning against your legs or resting on your pillows, and abruptly stops coming to the bed, it is never just a random mood swing. You must immediately look for 2 urgent underlying warnings. The first warning is hidden physical pain. A sudden reluctance to jump up onto the mattress or climb the bedroom stairs is very often the earliest detectable sign of osteoarthritis or silent joint deterioration. They desperately want to be close to you, but the sharp physical pain of the climb finally outweighs their genetic instinct for proximity. The second warning is far more insidious and heartbreaking. Statistics show that 35% of dogs over 8 years old develop canine cognitive dysfunction, which is the canine biological equivalent of Alzheimer's disease. This silent neurological decline systematically destroys their spatial memory and permanently shatters their circadian rhythms. They might wander the dark hallways of your house, panting and confused, entirely unable to remember the comforting sleep routines that once anchored their daily lives. When a dog suddenly pulls away from the safety of your bed, they are not acting out of independence, they are silently asking for your help. So, tonight, when it is 2 in the morning and you find yourself clinging desperately to the very edge of the mattress, look closely at that sleeping animal resting next to you. When they stretch out and push their paws into your back, or wake you up with a wet lick to the face, remember the thousands of years of history sleeping beside you. They did not end up on your specific side of the bed by some random accident. Out of every single person, every comforting smell, and every soft surface available to them in the darkness of your home, they actively chose you. Drop a comment below and tell me exactly what percentage of the bed your dog takes up tonight. And if you think their sleep behaviors and nighttime habits are deeply engineered, the evolutionary neuroscience behind why your dog stares intensely into your eyes is even more mind-bending.